Jacinda, I need to have a talk to you, Jacinda. It's pretty common knowledge that I'm not your biggest fan. Having said that, nothing personal, but I just don't think your policy or your ability to roll out good policy, it has no appeal to me, because you just seem to get everything wrong so often. So, as you'll notice, I'm in the viaduct today, Jacinda, and it's not a bad old day down here. About 5 or 6 knots of breeze, bit of activity, very few people though, Jacinda, very few people today. And what we're finding, we're setting the boxing up in case you're wondering why those ropes are bouncing around. What we're finding, Jacinda, is that your rules, or Ashley Bloomfield's, or whoever made the rules up, it could be Neve, or it could be Gayford too, I suppose. He seems to make the rules up these days. Maybe it's Gayford. Anyway, the rules that you're imposing on us currently are so draconian, they're just not going to work. And there's 2 or 3 areas of concern I have, Jacinda, so I'll start with the least of concern. If we're to stand down staff for 24 days because someone's been a close contact with someone who's been infected, and of course we know that everybody in the Auckland area is going to get infected in the next month or so, the person stands down for 24 days, everybody else by nature of the fact they work together stands down too, and we've got to pay them for 24 days. Now, you've done terrible things to the hospital industry, Jacinda, over the last 2 years. Your government has. You have virtually the entire industry on its knees, mercilessly raping the industry. And I say that metaphorically, not literally, but you have been. You've crippled the industry. That's a better word, crippled the industry. And this will be the end of them. If we've got to close for 24 days because one of our staff is a close contact, it'll be over for us. So, and we'll be one of many. All the dominoes will fall in a row, and we're the biggest. So if we go, God forbid, what'll be left of small business and hospitality in Auckland. The other thing that really worries me, Jacinda, but just to be clear though, we can apply to the government for some wage support in that situation, but the wage support will require us to top the staff up, best endeavour to top all the staff up and pay them their full wage while they're stood down. And your wage support, Jacinda, I've got to say, your wage support will cover parking tickets, but bugger all else. Maybe a latte somewhere, cheap latte, not a full price one. But by virtue of the fact, of course, you're forced, and prices up here in Auckland are skyrocketing because of the lack of productivity, with the increased wage cost and increased operating costs, all orchestrated by you and your government. But that's another thing. Let's get back to what I was actually going to talk to you about today, Jacinda. These bizarre rules that you've imposed mean now that 90% of our customers are saying they don't want to scan in, and if they do have a head cold or a runny nose, they don't want to get tested. And I'm saying, why? Why? These are the rules. But they've got a very logical explanation for it. What they're saying to me, Jacinda, is that they won't do it because if they scan in and someone gets tested as a contact here, close contact, they've got to lock themselves up for anything from 7 to 24 days, depending on the situation. And that's a problem. That's a big problem, because no one wants to be locked down again voluntarily here in Auckland. In addition, if they get a head cold or a runny nose, and you and I both know this, Omicron, that's how you say it, Jacinda, I know you don't know how to say it, so let me help you. Omicron, it's Greek letter of the alphabet. A watch is omega, it's not omega, it's omega. And this virus is called Omicron, Jacinda. So if you get Omicron, it's a nasopharyngeal infection. It doesn't go below about your throat here, your chin. It doesn't go into your lower respiratory tract, so it's not potentially lethal at all. And you and I both know, Jacinda, we've lied the whole way through about how lethal COVID is. It's not. It's lethal for people with comorbidities or compromised respiratory function, and it's lethal if you're unvaccinated and you're pregnant at the placental level, at the endothelial cell level. But it's not lethal, it's a nasorespiratory infection, nasopharyngeal infection. So if anybody gets a head cold, Jacinda, a bit of a virus type thing, like you'd normally get with the flu, we're being told that no one's going to acknowledge or get tested. Why should they? If they do, their whole family's locked down, their business is locked down, they lose their job, they lose their business. And I know you don't care about small business, Jacinda, and I know you have no sensitivity. I doubt if you know much about epidemiology, to be frank. But these rules you're imposing now, they're so poorly thought through. You have that little, snivelling little fellow from Otago University, Michael Baker, telling us what we should and shouldn't do and how we should and shouldn't live our life. What's he actually done, Jacinda? How many people has he employed and how much tax has he paid over the years? Go and have a look at my IOD record. See who pays the taxes, Jacinda. And then start talking to the right people. People who understand business, but understand epidemiology and virology and infectious diseases all at the same time. There's your source of the truth, Jacinda. Not the made-up stuff that you and little Skippy Hipkins come up with every day and Ashley Bloomfield comes up with. And by the way, on the subject of Ashley Bloomfield, I'm delighted he's let those rats into the country, the rapid antigen tests. But I'm also hoping that your compliant media at some stage have a very close look at Ashley Bloomfield and the Ministry of Health and find out why so many of those rats were turned away or prevented from being brought into this country. Because there's a story there, Jacinda. There's a story. and the media should dig and find out what that story is. But anyway, I've got to wrap this. I've got work to do. Unlike you, I'm fully employed, 71 staff paid full-time last week, plus my contractors, about 12 of those. That's the security crew, in case you're wondering. But we've got a very busy week ahead, or very busy day ahead, so I'm off to work. And the key to this, Jacinda, is you come up with a really good answer to the two key factors that I discussed today. Why should people scan, and why should they get tested? Because if they do either, it completely disrupts their lives. And no one knows about having their lives disrupted better than me, because I've been a victim of yours for 2 years. I've been your punching bag, or you, because you orchestrated the whole obstruction of the lives of the citizens of Auckland City. You, Jacinda, have single-handedly destroyed the CBD and gutted the city, and it's going to come to an end, just like this virus will, when we get Paxlovid. You know, I told you about Paxlovid before, but I'll conclude by touching on that. That's the protease inhibitor that Pfizer make. 92 countries in the world, Jacinda, are licensed to make Paxlovid. 92 countries. I wrote an article in the Herald in mid-November about it, how it would change the dynamics of a pandemic and turn it into an endemic. You no doubt read it, because you read everything in the Herald. I hope you do. You don't seem to do much else, so you must have plenty of time to read the Herald. You would have seen there and advised your Ministry of Health to get off their asses and do what I said you should have done many weeks before. So on about December the 10th, you ordered 60,000 doses. The US of A has 200 million doses, Jacinda. 92 countries produce the drug, and it is a saviour drug when it comes to COVID infection. You ordered 60,000 doses. I'm not sure whether you're going to look after Timaru or Morrinsville. You come from Morrinsville, so that'll cover Morrinsville, in case you're wondering. It might even cover half the Waikato. But as for covering Auckland and New Zealand, you're kidding me. 60,000 doses? Jacinda, get real. And remember, vote Leo Malloy for mayor. Good luck, Jacinda. Over and out.